Let us sing together this song by Karen Drucker. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. Last time. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so
friends, I want to invite you to close your eyes or soften your gaze. Just become aware of your breath for a moment.
Rev Todd, we can't hear you.
Thank you, Deidrey. I am so blessed. With a gentle exhalation, soften your gaze or close your eyes and just relax into your seat for a moment. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. On this last Sunday of this year, this made-up construction of time when we are grounded in wisdom, but we are also grounded in hope and faith and peace and love and joy. Because we have just celebrated the coming of the Christ. That divine spark in humankind, individualized in each one of us. I am. And because I am so blessed. We are so blessed. From that indwelling spark of divinity. And so for just a moment, let's pause and bring our full awareness and our attention inward into that vast space within that is illuminated with the light of the Christ in the world and in consciousness in us. Let us go there and experience the truth of love, the promise of peace within, the willingness to experience joy even when appearances would have us feel otherwise. Let's pause for a moment in the stillness and in the silence as we experience the becoming of who we are called to be. I am so blessed. I am so blessed for all that I have. Not here in this manifest material world, planet Earth, this incredible playground for life. I am so blessed for all that I have in consciousness. I am so blessed for the illumination of life, of love, of the breath of the one who is breathing us now. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. Affirm that with me now. I am so blessed. I am so blessed because I am a blessing. You are a blessing to this world. And with hearts filled with love, hearts that know the truth of peace and the experience of everlasting joy, I invite you to stand in your faith in this playground, planet Earth, and bring your awareness, bring your light back to this time and this space. And for just a few exhalations, with each inhale, breathe out blessing. A blessing to the world. And so it is, and so we let it be.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. We are so blessed, aren't we? And we are blessed to have Rev Todd. We are so blessed to have Rev Todd. And so as we prepare to receive Rev Todd's message, let us sing this one. This one is by Michael Gott, and it's called Right Here, Right Now. Right here, right now, I'm gonna make a brand new start. Right here, right now, I'm gonna make a change in my heart. Everything I need, I now receive, and
Thank you, Deidrey. I love Michael Gott. He performed at my when I became certified, not my ordination, the one before that. One of the many hoops that I lovingly jumped through. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
I need everyone here in the sanctuary to know I apologize for those of you that are not with us today. Before y'all leave, you need to have a piece of pie. Because my family brought pies, even though they were told not to. And if they go back to my house, I'll eat them all. And then we'll have to take up a love offering for new pants for Reverend Todd. So, we don't want to do that. Everybody have a great Christmas, I hope? A tender Christmas? I mean, it's some of it was great, and some of it touched me. You know, some of those places I thought, oh, I've healed that. Have you ever had that thought? I've healed that. And yet I still hold on to some ideas that clearly I haven't healed, because still people can reach right in there and push that button. Y'all have those buttons? Yeah. The people that keep pushing them. I saw a meme one time that said, of course they push those buttons. They installed them. They know where they are. They know where they're hidden. Right? This season of the year is transition. Some of you were with us on Sunday night and you saw our beautiful celebration of the 12 powers of man, these 12 faculties in consciousness. And we initiated our candle pillars. So, you know, even though we said towers a few times, because I'd put towers in my script, so Amy and I kept saying towers. They are pillars, and they shall henceforth be known as our 12 powers pillars. Say that 12 times fast. And it was like part of, you know, that coming of the light. We did it on the solstice because it is the darkest night of the year, as we welcome the light to start taking more and more time in our lives. And it's also, you know, that liminal time there, you know, at the end of Advent, right before we celebrate the birth of the Christ child, right? Because there's nothing more joyful in the world than the birth of a child. And the truth is that entire Advent season is about transformation. It's about transformation and creation. If we look back to our Gospels, I'm sorry, not the Gospels, but to Genesis, to our very creation stories, and how, you know, the earth was made in 6 days, and on the seventh day God rested, right? And we can do that literal thing and think about, oh, you know, in a day, in 24 hours, right? But day and night weren't even created until like the third day. And so what I want you to know metaphysically is that all of these days, every day is about a shift in consciousness. It is a new consciousness that we hold. And so now we have moved through Advent, and we have had these touchstones of stepping into the consciousness of hope and faith, and stepping into the consciousness of peace, stepping into the consciousness of love, and that consciousness of joy. And we've been practicing this and this, you know, this march into a more encompassing, a more vast and expansive consciousness, to know ourselves as one with the one, to know the Christ of our being, to actually be able to close our eyes and in spirit go into that vastness and not just see darkness, but to experience the light of the Christ that has been always inside you. And so it's not that it has to be received, it's that we have to shift our awareness and experience it. And that journey, it formed in us, it formed us for what comes next. What comes next in consciousness? Our image this week is inspired. That is not my dog Layla, but that reminds me of my dog Layla. And I was playing fetch with Layla, and if you've not met Layla, Layla likes to play fetch nonstop. I mean, she will chase that ball. And I know that she's ready for water when she doesn't drop the ball and stares at me and she's like, okay, it's time to go and I need water. And as soon as she has a little bit of water, she's ready to go back outside. She has a clarity of purpose. And I had this realization, right? Because it's her body, her eyes, her energy, all of her attention is aligned to one thing. Throw that ball. Oh, I want to go get that ball. I need to work. I want to throw that ball. And everything else around her fades away. She is not distracted by other dogs in the neighborhood. She's not distracted by cats, by squirrels. She's not anxious. She's not scattered. She is laser focused on that ball. Laser focused. How often I don't live with that kind of clarity of focus in my life. How about you? Do you sometimes waver a little bit? Do you get distracted easily? Are you sometimes pulled out of your consciousness of peace because, I don't know, you saw a social media meme that, ooh, really got your goat, right? Or you turned on the news or the radio. Or maybe that person that you decided you were going to live with and love for the rest of your life says something in a tone that reminded you of your mother. That ever happened? I'm guessing, y'all, because I'm single. But, you know. Right? How different would our lives be if we lived with that kind of clarity, that consciousness, that it's not an intensity and it's not an obsession, it's just coherence. That every cell of our body, every thought in our minds, even the ones that we don't realize we're thinking, if they were all coherent and vibrating at the same frequency, and then took formation in our body, and we actually then become the health, the joy, the peace that we want to be, that we want to experience. Now we talked about our blessings this morning in our daily word. Blessings are not always dramatic, right? But how often does a blessing feel unexpected? It feels unexpected because we're not really fully present in our lives. We're not fully coherent and clear and focused so that we see how this incredible energy of life, of love that we call God is working to show up in our lives. And every moment is really a blessing when we stay coherent, when we stay conscious of our connection, and we cooperate with that presence of life that is unfolding. And that's why we have a spiritual practice here at Unity. You may have heard of it. We talk about prayer and meditation. Have y'all heard that? Maybe. When we quiet ourselves, we begin to notice where life is already offering itself up to us. When we get quiet and we quiet our minds, and we still that emotional roller coaster that sometimes shows up, and we allow that roller coaster to just, put our mind on board and it goes sailing. We get quiet, we get still, and then suddenly blessings are arriving because our awareness catches up to what Spirit has been doing all along. And so let's pause and thumbtack for just a second to pinpoint this and hold this truth that even though all those crazy things can sometimes show up and shift our vibration and all these, the turmoil that lives inside, and still great things happen for us. And really everything that happens for good. That's because we have grace. There is far more good coming to us than we could ever imagine. And it overtakes all those limited error thoughts that still show up sometimes. And so, in the days ahead, we have just a few days before we're going to do our burning bowl ceremony. And in these days ahead, these states of consciousness that we can experience, right? It's an invitation for you to focus on the pattern of this inner unfolding, this inner blossoming of your potential to love, of your potential to be peace, of your potential to stay grounded in joy, no matter what's happening in this playground planet Earth, right? It's we get to see this inner unfolding and look at, explore our Advent journey of being in a state of faith, being in a state of peace, being in a state of love, being in a state of joy. And what are the other states that are showing up? Are you sometimes in a state of anger? Are you sometimes in a state of pain? In a state of sorrow? For these are all days in creation. These are all places in consciousness where we can grow from to know the truth of who we are. Because these states are our conscious cooperation. Right? Because this thinking and feeling nature, right? We talk about that in our third principle. Whatever we focus our thoughts and feelings upon shapes our experience of life. And so if I get angry because you moved my stuff, and I focus on that relentlessly, do y'all know me, right? I see 1,000 more things to get angry about. And if I focus my attention on being grateful for your company, being grateful for your presence in my life, and I don't worry about the stuff, I start seeing more places to be grateful, more places where there is presence in my life. And that's true for you too. And see, this Advent season, this learning to control and direct these 12 faculties of mind are about the Advent season. They are about the arrival of your awareness of the indwelling Christ in your life. And it was foretold in this morning, our scripture reading from the Daily Word. Blessed are those who trust in the Lord, whose trust is the Lord, from Jeremiah. And I went to Jeremiah and I read Jeremiah this week. And if you know me, you know I'm not one that quickly goes to scripture, but I went to Jeremiah and I went to Jeremiah 31. Okay, so this is Hebrew scriptures, Old Testament. And for the first time, this is where in our scriptures, where it is there is a foretelling of the coming of the Christ, the new covenant. Jesus, the birth of Jesus represents the new covenant because the law is now written on our hearts. Right, there was, but before in the early days of Israel and Moses, who went up and brought down the commandments from Mount Sinai. These are the commandments, and now there is a new law, the law that is written on your heart. Your individualized expression of the Christ is written in you for you to pay attention to, for you to listen to, for you to sit in the stillness and the quiet, and for you to know what is expected of you from your Creator. How exciting is that? You get to consciously cooperate with this experience of life and figure out what you are called to do, who you are called to become. Right? And this is all possible because the law is written in our heart. The Trinity of unity, mind, idea, expression. Divine mind has these grand ideas that we receive, and then we bring them forth through our energy, our effort, our attention. We cooperate with divine life. And one small caveat is that I want us all to remember that this conscious cooperation is not ever about getting it all right. That's why we have free will. We can change our mind. We don't always get it right. But it is about being willing to listen and to respond. To listen, right? To truly listen is to be open and willing to receive a higher, greater truth than what you think you already know. If you are listening and forming your response to another person or to that inner wisdom, you're not really listening. If you get quiet and sit in the stillness and the silence and you pray not for God to change and not pray for God to change the world, but pray so that you might change, that you might shift into becoming who you are called to be, well, then you listen and you go, yeah, but God, I'm not going to do that. Right? I did that for a long time, and buddy, let me tell you what, my friends, my life has been so much more joyful, more peaceful, more alive than it ever was when I was saying, yeah, but not me. Not me. So I went about a lot of stuff not getting things right. but I sure got prepared. Emmett Fox said, "To think clearly and with feeling leads to demonstration." To think clearly and with feeling leads to discrimination, leads to demonstration. What we constantly and consistently think about with interest and warmth gains power in our lives. And I know from personal experience that I have spent a lot of my life being emotionally invested in what I do not want. You ever done that? The universe doesn't hear not. And so our practice is learning to redirect our attention without strain. To redirect our attention with the grace of the Creator. We are given grace. Let's give ourselves some grace. Let's redirect when we're like, this ain't quite right. And I want to remind everyone of something I have alluded to, perhaps even said a few times, is that when we have an idea that we oppose, that we do not get rid of that idea by opposing it with force and with anger. In fact, when we do that, we just create more conflict in the consciousness of the world. And guess how that outpictures? We see that resistance. We see that thought in ourselves that we don't like, and we replace it by giving our attention to something new. And it will dissipate. Layla focuses on that ball and just will stare at it sitting on a table, tail wagging, and just this goofy, happy energy about her until the demonstration happens and I or someone else in my home goes outside to throw the ball. Conscious cooperation with the people around her that can make things happen, and she is just ready for it. What are you ready for in your life, friends? What is it? And it's going to be different for everyone that's listening today. That there is, this shift in consciousness that is available to us. And next week we do a ritual and a ceremony around this, and we make little notes on a piece of paper for ourselves of, this is not serving me, and I'm ready to give it up. This thought that I'm holding on to, I'm going to give this up. I'm going to give this up. And then we write ourselves letters. And the paper that we're giving up, we carry it up here to this big bowl, and it will burst into flames. It's on flash paper, so we don't set anything on fire, but it's gone. Up in smoke. And then we get really clear on what is it that we are ready for. Our letters are not about making promises to ourselves, but it's about marking a shift in consciousness. And so this week, as we go forth in our daily routines, the consciousness of each moment, reflect on this. Notice where your attention naturally goes. And then I invite all of you to journal, to really prepare for this coming ritual, what we're going to do next week. And and really contemplate a couple of things. What is it I am ready to release? What is it I am ready to release? My first burning bowl ceremony that I did, and that's been a long, long time ago now, I had a list of things that I needed to release, that I should release. And I had some friends that were very clear in telling me the things they thought I should release. If we should on ourselves, we get in the way of our joy. What am I willing to release? Right? And because release is not poof, it's gone, even though the piece of paper turns into smoke and it seems like everything's done. It's like magic. No, it's then we ask ourselves, what am I willing to give my attention to instead? What am I willing to give my attention to instead? And that's about being clear on our values, on who it is that we feel we are being called to become in this world. And then finally sit with this one and really give yourself some time with this question, right? Where might Spirit be inviting my cooperation? Where might Spirit be inviting my cooperation? And how can I cooperate? How can I be a part of that? Conscious cooperation begins with clarity. Knowing who we are, what we think, who we wish to become, who we are called to become. Right? And it's not always perfect clarity. I think I'm supposed to do this. Give it a try. Get enough clarity to take that next faithful step. That next faithful step. Just like when Mary went to visit Elizabeth and John leapt with joy. You take that next step and you will know there will be a leaping of joy in your consciousness if you're on the right path. And so we're going to prepare for the burning bowl this week by practicing our ability to listen. Trusting that blessings unfold as we align our thoughts, our feelings, and our willingness with the one, with the very essence of divine life. And so, do your practice this week. And I can't wait to see how we all transform over many days, over many, many different places in consciousness as we awaken to who we really are. And that, friends, is what I was invited to share with you today, and I appreciate you being here. I love you all.
Thank you so much, Rev Todd. Thank you. I'm here to remind you of your magnificence, to help to awake to all the wonder that you are. I long to show you all the joy you're worthy of. I'm here to remind you how much you truly love. I'm here to remind you of your magnificence, to help to awake to all the wonder that you are. I want to show you all the love you're worthy of. I'm here to remind you how much you are truly loved. You're here to remind me of my magnificence, to help to wake to all the wonder that I am. You long to show me all the joy that I am worthy of. You're here to rmind me how much I'm truly loved. Thank you, Rev Todd, for your wisdom.